Okay, here we are, another episode of the 51. Just put a few hours in on this thing. Obviously, back to mocking stuff up. Hold on, let me grab a light real quick. My bad, y'all. So, basically what I'm doing is trying to get it mocked back up and dialed in position-wise, so when I take it or get it over to Chava, he knows where to notch the firewall. So you see that gap there. Obviously this has to scoop back on there, but this is all that it can go for now. So I got it bolted up so it doesn't fall or go anywhere, but we're gonna have to notch this wall right here out so this guy can fit and scoop back and sit back in there how it's supposed to. There's a transmission in there, so trans is bolted up. I had to scoot the engine back a little bit, which I wasn't too crazy about, but it is what it is. Gonna have to sort this issue out right here. Steering is definitely on the header. Not in love with what I got going on with the cross member. Got some washers in there for a spacer. The degree of it tilting backwards right now is like 2 degrees. So I can live with that. I think I'm allowed up to 5. But I think I'm gonna leave it at this. I wanted to keep all of this above the frame rails just for when it airs out, but obviously not feasible. I don't want to cut up too much of into the truck because I'm already gonna be cutting into this. Oh, I also lowered the engine actually. So I lowered the engine down one notch. Thank God Armando made these plates very adjustable. So I dropped it down 1 notch and I went up 1 notch on the trans cross member. And this is what we got. To level this out completely, I would have to drop the engine more. But I don't want to go any further down because I need to leave room for my oil pan down there. So this is pretty much, I'm thinking, where I'm going to leave it. And I'm just going to have to make it work from here. Yeah, this is what we got going on. The floor is already cut up. Pretty sure I told y'all about how I fell through the floor when I was cutting this floor. Little frame out for the seat. So as you can see, the guy's pretty up there. So this will get cut out and resorted. Probably just do like a little half moon or something or whatever over it to cover it up and give it some more room. And that'll be that. Have that welded back shut by Chava as well. Yeah, man, that's pretty much what we got going on right now. And yeah, I'll probably sit like this for a little while. Still got the engine inside that I need to take my measurements for the piston and deck clearance. So it's whatever, but yeah, so don't mind this pulley being, lined up right here so close to where the radiator stuff will be. Because like I said, we got all that gap right there to scooch it back. So I think I'll be pretty happy with that. That'll give me a decent amount of front end space. Even if I have to flip the blower pulley around, it'll probably put it back to where it is right now, which is okay. Cutting it close, but okay. So yeah, I think I'm gonna try to leave it position-wise where it is. And like I said, just make everything else work, which really is just the steering and then notching a firewall so the blower can sit back where it's supposed to. And then we'll go from there. Hopefully, we won't have to get too much into this point right here. But if we do, we do. It is what it is. The hood's not going back on this truck, so it doesn't really matter. But I would like to maybe do this crease right here. Like get into that crease right there, maybe stop there. But like I said, if we got to go further, we got to go further. It is what it is. So we'll see what that. Plenty of time until that'll actually happen. My focus right now is getting this bucket to survive, and get back from ITI, Idaho Truck Invasion. And then once that's all said and done, hopefully she's okay and will stay okay and leave me alone for a little while so I can focus back on this thing and get back to work on this. But just wanted to do a little something on the truck. Been bored, haven't touched her in a while. I think up next what I'll do, doesn't really cost me any money to do now that I have this sort of figured out, is I'll grab the steps and start trying to figure out how I'm gonna bolt the steps up since it's custom frame, there's no bolt holes anymore. So I'll be making all of that stuff up, and then a little panel that'll go in between right here, right above the steps. So probably start doing that next. You know, it's gonna be a whole lot of back and forth and drilling and hardware run and blah, 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 blah. So might as well start getting that stuff figured out now, and I can take them back off when I'm done. But yeah, this is what we got going on, 51 update. When I do more, if I do more, I'll let you guys know, and we'll go from there. But I want to start, you know, here and there, start doing stuff on it and getting it further along. But dude, it's hot. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it's 100 and something right now, and it sucks. It sucks. So bear with me. Catch y'all later. Yeah, that's it.